What's up YouTube, Ronix from Ronix Photography, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to show you how I'm going to edit this photo using Photoshop. So this photo was taken using natural light and is for a friend of mine. And this photo was taken using natural light and was taken using a Canon 6D camera, and it was taken at ISO 250. Then the shutter speed was 1 out of 400 of a second, and it was taken using an 85mm lens at f2, as you can see the settings right here. So let's start editing this photo. So usually I start by pulling down my highlights because they are kind of blown out. So I pull down the highlights, then I also pull down the whites a little bit because I want to regain the details in this shot. So I'll pull them down. So I'll come now to my blacks because I want to add in some color to this photo since this is a raw file. Then I will pull down my blacks a little bit. You can see I'm regaining the colors now, and it is having some little contrast. So I'm going to come to my shadows. So when I come to my shadows, I prefer to pull them up because I want to try to eliminate the shadows. Right here you can see she has some little shadows, so I'm going to add a little contrast. Yeah, so I'll add in a little clarity. So my contrast, I'll pump it up a little bit to around 4. Then I'll add in a little clarity. I prefer 5. Then a little vibrance. But since I'm still having some little shadows, I'm going to pull this all the way to around 70s. So here we are right now. You can see this photo. So right now I prefer a warmer tone, a warmer feel to this photo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pump up my temperatures. So after that, I'm going to come to my detail panel. So what I'm going to do, I want to get a sharp image, so I'll just pump up my sharpness. Since I took this photo at f2 and I may have lost some details in it, so I'll leave the others the way they are. So I'm going to come right back here to my HSL panel, and I'm going to play around with these colors, the yellows and the greens. So I'm going to select the hues. So I'm going to, it depends on how you want your photo to look, or the look you're going in for while editing. So you can see this, you can choose whatever you want. So as for this photo, I want it to be vibrant enough. I'll pull the greens towards the blues. Then I'll also pump up my yellows a little bit. So I'll come to my luminous, and I'm going to turn down my greens because I want to regain the details in my highlights somehow. So I'll turn them to around -15, and my yellows to -3. So here we are right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to my camera calibration, and I'm going to play around with the blue primary and all these sliders. So I'm going to just come right here, and I'm going to pull this down because I want that reddish feel to the photo. So I'm going to come to my green primary, and I'm going to pump it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this right now the way it is. So I'm going to open the image in Photoshop. So as our image is loading in Photoshop, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell so that you can be notified every time we post. So right now we're going to start doing our retouching of this specific photo, and we are going to be using frequency separation using a mixture brush tool. So I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to play my frequency separation action, as you can see. And if you don't have it, I will drop the link in the description so that you can download and fasten your work process during editing. So before I play my frequency separation, I'm going to make sure I duplicate the background layer. So I'll click Ctrl J on the keyboard, and I'm going to come right back here, and I'm going to play our frequency separation. So when I play it, I prefer using a radius of around 8 for these photos which are not close-ups. So I'm going to click OK, and the action will start playing automatically. So I'll continue. I'm sorry if I'm being too fast. So I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to select my lower frequency. So I'll select my mixer brush tool, and if you don't have it, you right click on the brushes and you look for mixer brush. So I'm going to come right here and make sure my brush is clean. Then this is unchecked, and my whitening is at 10, the load is at 75, mix 90, the flow at 100, and sample all layers is not checked. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start mixing, and when you're mixing, you make sure you remain within the area of the skin tones you're trying to mix. You don't cross from the highlights to the shadows and vice versa. So after, I'm going to get my mixer brush tool, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to start mixing the areas and harmonizing the skin tones. So I'm going to start mixing. As you can see here, you can see I mixed there. So I can show you guys so far the difference we are getting. You can see the difference. So make sure you don't over mix one area for so long. So just leave it, and when you're mixing, make sure you don't overdo it, because when you overdo it, you may end up over mixing it and you end up losing the detail in your skin. So here we are right now. So I'm going to come to our arms, the hands. So I'm going to mix there too, you can see. And I'm going to come to this other arm. Make sure you mix each and every part. So let me show you guys the before and after. And around her neck area, I think we are going to mix there more, because we have so many uneven tones right here. So we mix. Yeah, even on her chin area, you can see she had some little blemishes, so we are going to fix those after. So I think we are done. You can see this is the before, after, before, after. So this is really subtle, you don't have to overdo it. So I'm going to come to my higher frequency, and I'm going to select my patch tool, and I'm going to remove the blemishes in this photo. So I'm going to zoom in all the way, and I'm going to use my patch tool after selecting my higher frequency. So that is too much. So let me start removing these little pimples or blemishes from her skin. You can see the difference. So you select and drag to where you want to copy the skin. Select, drag, select and drag. So when you're doing this using a patch tool, it is way better than using the healing brush, because the system automatically chooses for you when you're using the healing brush tool. So here you only select where you want to copy the skin from. So you can see what I'm doing. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel and you're learning something from this channel, kindly subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell. And if you have any suggestions about what other videos should be containing in the future, you can drop your suggestion. And if you would like us to edit some of the photos, yeah, you can comment with the link, and I can check out your photos, and I can drop a video while editing your photos. Don't worry, I can always credit you. So what you're doing, we are removing these little blemishes from the model's skin. So let me show you guys how far we have come with this. So before, after, before, after. So I think we are done with this. So I think I kinda tilted the camera when I was taking this photo. I did not balance well, and what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to try eliminating these, removing these poles from the photo because it makes the whole image bent. So, oh sorry, I said bent, it is tilted. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come right here and I'm using my patch tool. I'm going to select here right away. I'm going to select up here. Sorry. I don't know. Okay, right now the patch tool is not working for me. I don't know why it is not working, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a layer on top of African separation by pressing Shift Ctrl Alt E on our keyboard, and I'm going to duplicate by pressing Ctrl J. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to use my patch tool still. I hope it works for me this time. So you can see I'm trying to remove this pole. You can see, and don't worry about the marks we are leaving behind. You can see what we are doing right now. So you can always come back to these marks and remove them because they are kind of distracting. Yeah, sorry about this. I'll undo. You can come back to your history and undo that. You can see how we are removing this pole. And what I'm doing right now, I'm removing the pole because it is kind of acting like a distraction to our overall photo. So that's why I'm removing it from this photo. And when I was taking the photo, I kind of tilted my camera, so, and I was hurrying because I had somewhere else to go, and this was an abrupt shoot. So yeah, as you can see, we have something left right here. We can remove that, and if at all this is not really perfect for you, you can always have better ways of doing this, and I don't want this tutorial to be so long. So if at all we have some little imperfections here, just get your, this is the spot removal, and you increase on the brush, so we try to clear that, those little imperfections in the background. So you can see now our photo is right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start color grading this photo. I'm sorry if I took too long on this photo. So I'm going to start color grading it. So I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to come right here. I select my gradient maps, or let me first do with selective color because I prefer doing it like this. And I'm going to come to my red channel. I prefer adding a little cyan to my reds and some more bit of yellows to the image. And still I'm going to come to my selective color, then I come to my green channel and I'm going to play around with this because I prefer a bluish kind of feel to this photo. Yeah, you can see this. This is really beautiful. So I'll come to my yellow channel and I'm going to play around with it too, but this is too much. Remove the magentas. So you can see here is where we are right now. So now I'm going to start working on her skin tones. So I'm going to be using my gradient maps. I'll come here on my adjustment layer, then I'm going to select my gradient maps and I just come right here. And if you don't have all these, as usual, come right here, look for photographic toning and click append, so you'll get all these. So I'll select Sapphire Arctic because this is what I really love. Then I come to the blending options and I use soft light. So when I use soft light, I'll come right here on the opacity and I reduce on the opacity, since the photo was looking really too orange. So this is where we are right now. So I'm going to come back to my gradient maps and I'm going to use gold one first. Then I come to blending, I use soft light, and I'm going to reduce on the opacity to what I really like. So you can see this is where we are right now. And I'm also going to come, this time I'm going to use gold 2. Then I use soft light still. Then I'm going to reduce on the opacity of this image. So here we are right now. So I'm going to group all these. And yeah, I'm going to group all these. Remember, our photo still has Ctrl G to group. We still have some little, we still have some shadows in this photo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first go to camera raw and I try to eliminate the shadows before I can do the dodging and burning for this image. So I'm going to create a layer on top of our color graded group by clicking Shift Ctrl Alt E on the keyboard, and I'm going to create a visible layer and I'll duplicate it, Ctrl J. I'll come back to filter, camera raw, then I'm going to remove the shadows from this image and I'm going to kind of whiten her eyes and her teeth in this step. So I'm going to remove the shadows all the way and I'm going to pump up the exposure a little bit. You can see. So I'm going to come to my HSL panel still and I'm going to hue my greens some little bit more because I want this image to pop. You can see. So I'm going to add in a little kind of teal to this photo. So I'm going to come to my blues and I pour them this side. You can see the difference we are having right now. Yeah, so this will do. So I'll come to my adjustment brush and the settings, make sure the temperature is towards the blues. I use -30 the tint, and make sure you only adjust your highlights and the whites. So, and make sure your saturation is all the way down. You leave the others at default or at 0. So I'm going to zoom in this photo. You can see I'm going to zoom it in because I want to whiten her eyes and her teeth the more. You can see. So I start brushing on the eye area. Make sure you don't brush on this side completely because the eye will look unreal and not natural. So yeah, only brush the white area of the eye. So here we are. Let me first zoom out for you. You can see the difference we have right now. So, and now I'm going to come to her teeth. I'm going to kind of whiten them, but when you're whitening the teeth, make sure you only do an individual tooth. Sorry, you do one tooth at a time because you wouldn't want to distract the pattern of the teeth or making it like look fake and unrealistic. So here we have whitened the teeth. So I'm going to come right back here to my basic panel and I'm going to pump up my highlights a little bit. So this is where we are right now. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to show you guys the before and after camera raw. So this is the before, after, before, after. You can see a difference we are having right now. I'm going to start doing our dodging and burning and I'm going to be using our curves. So I'm just going to come right here and select my curves. And first of all, we are going to dodge. So when you are dodging, we dodge the highlights, and when we are burning, we burn the shadows. So I'm going to press Ctrl I to invert this. So I'm going to name this, double click, dodge, and enter. Then I'm also going to come right back here on the curves, then I'll darken, then I'll name this Ctrl I, you invert, then I'll name this burn. So I'm going to group this, Ctrl G, select them, Ctrl G on your keyboard, and I'm going to select the burn layer, and I'm going to create a black and white filter so that it can guide us when we are doing our dodging and burning. So yeah, I think this is fine. I'll close that. I'll select my dodge. I select my brush. I prefer the flow to be at 14 when I'm dodging, and when I'm burning I prefer it to be at 8, and the opacity is at 100. So I look for my highlighted areas, I start dodging them. So even if I overdo this, it is for the sake of this tutorial. So I'll zoom in a little bit because I want to see these highlights well so that my brush can easily pass. So you can see we have a highlight there. Then on her nose area we have this highlight. We have a highlight. So you can see a difference right now. So on her forehead we have some little highlight. So we shall also highlight that too. So let me turn this the black and white so you can see before, after, before, after. You can see a difference, guys. So I'm going to come to my burn. I turn on my black and white. I make sure my flow this time is around 6, 8 or 7. So I'm going to burn on the shadow area. So when we are burning, we burn the shadows, and when we are dodging, we dodge the highlights. So we burn there, we burn, we have a shadow here. Yeah, I think that it's fine. So before, after, you can see a difference it has made to this photo. So I'm going to delete our black and white, and I'm going to group all our processes. I'm going to group all of them. You can see I'm going to group, including African separation. You select them, and this layer too, Ctrl G to group everything. So this is how our image looked straight out of Camera Raw after doing some little adjustments to it. And this is after color grading, dodging and burning, whitening the teeth, and frequency separation, and we used a mixture brush. So if you have learned something from this video, don't forget to leave a comment or hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos. I'm Ronyx from Ronyx Photography. Thank you for watching. Till next time.